Mike Watson, and we're back again for video number 2 of this special series event for Dear Creatives. We are talking getting Comic-Con ready, getting ready for one show in particular, Wizard World Boise, that I will be at July 13th through the 15th as a special guest. Super excited to be going out here. I'm going out to the other side of the country, and I've never been to Boise, Idaho, so bang-a-rang. Alright, so in our last episode, we talked about the banner and the profile picture specifically set up for your Facebook page, which then you can in turn use for Instagram, Twitter, any of your other social media, however you want. One of the cool things I forgot to mention with that profile page, for the profile picture, is that I have my Facebook set up to my PlayStation account. So whenever I change my picture on Facebook, it automatically changes on my PlayStation page. And I have run into one or two people from my PlayStation list, friends list, that I play video games with, and it gives them that acknowledgement that I'm going to a comic book convention. It's a little thing, but every inch matters when you're trying to spread your awareness. So if you want to, I'll be sure to put a link in here. We're adding this to the Freestyle Komics YouTube page, so please be sure to follow us. And as I'm going through this series leading up to the show, please ask questions, make comments. This is a dialogue. This isn't just the Mike Watson show, even though okay, so it is the Mike Watson show, but it's open for discussion. We're talking making comic books here. So I want to answer any of your questions. If anybody got any tips that work better than mine, please share. Throw them in there. So be sure to follow us. Follow us on our YouTube page, subscribe to it, follow our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are Freestyle Komics 99 on Facebook, FS Comics on Instagram, and Freestyle Komics on Twitter. Either way, you look for FSK, Freestyle Komics, you'll find us. How about I put that information down here when I upload this video so you guys can get to it easier? That makes sense. But today we're going to go into more con prep work. So we did our Facebook page, we did our banner, we did our profile. So now it's kind of like the background stuff. Let's see here. Boom. Comics. I make comics, right? So I got to see what I got in stock. Alright? I got to make sure I got stock. I also have prints that are over there. On the other side of the room. So I got to go through my inventory. And what I use to go through my inventory is Square Up. Square. I have a little Square reader for the credit card, and it takes my credit card payments. But what else it does is pretty freaking amazing, is it handles inventory. And it keeps an online store for me. And it has a mobile store that I use on my phone. And that's what I actually use for tracking my sales, my daily sales, my inventory, how many books I'm selling, how many it has everything. I love it. It has all types of numbers. I know you can also use PayPal as well, because I have a PayPal reader. It does not have a mobile store to the detailed degree that Square does. So I do a mixture of both of them, and so you got to figure out what works for you. I use PayPal for my credit card payments, just that's instant, it goes right to my PayPal account. But I use Square for all my inventory control and the online store option. If I forget one, then I have one as a backup. So it's nice to have more than one option. Also, while we're getting ready for a show, you're doing your inventory, you're checking your comics, you see how many comics you have, how many prints you have, what you have in stock, you have your order. Like today, I'm going to have to put in an order today. And just to get me ready for the show, because I'm going to a new area. That's, wow, so many things to talk about. So going to a new area, what should I really bring to Wizard World Boise, as I've never been there? It's a new market for me. All my #1 issues. That's what I need to rock with. So I'm thinking 20, 25 copies of each one of my #1 issues. And then Hotshot and Vigilance and Heroes International have multiple books. But I'm only going to take 2 or 3 copies of each one of those for that 1 or 2 people. There's always 1 or 2 people that buy the whole set. And they get excited because they have all that content. But that's not everybody, right? So we're going to push the #1 issues so that if I get back to this show and I come back, people want the next issue because they read the first issue and hopefully they enjoy it, right? Now, something that you need to do, that I do, or that I have a good time doing, is coming up with events. Now, coming up with events and then promoting those events that you're going to be doing at Wizard. You can do that several ways. You can go to Wizard World's website and you can apply for a panel, which I've done several times. And right now I'm up to the point to where I'm doing 7 or 8 different events at Wizard World just for the creative stage and panel work. But that doesn't include the stuff that I'm doing on my own. One of the big things that I did at Wizard World, and I've been doing at Wizard World, and take note, I'm only saying Wizard World right now because that's the show that I'm getting ready for. A lot of this stuff applies to other comic book conventions. Wizard World being a bigger show, more pop culture, mainstream, I tend to put in more work with that because the audience and reach is bigger. One of the things that I do is the hype line, which it has been dubbed recently the hype line in the last couple of shows, but I've been doing it at Wizard World for years. But that's something I did on my own. I looked at what I felt I can affect. Like, what do I bring to the table, and how can I make me stand out? And that's my thing. So I've kind of I've locked that up as a copyright, and that's kind of the expectation when I'm appearing at the show. Then I also do the 30-minute poster contest, which I give away raffle tickets to people that make purchases at my table. And then that day, probably around 5 or 6 o'clock, I ask everyone to come back at that time because we're going to do a raffle drawing for a free commission. And normally I'll do that commission on like a big poster, 18 by 24 or 11 by 17, whichever one I have handy. And I have 30 minutes to do that poster in ink, and I have to do it on Facebook Live in front of all these people that are watching me. But the thing is, the character I'm going to draw is going to be a character from the Freestyle Komics roster. Because at the end of the day, I am trying to promote my characters, my brand, my IP. And you got to think about your photo opportunities. It creates a good photo opportunity when I have all these people coming back to see if they won. And so that's when we have Jessica or Laura or whoever I have there with me take pictures while I'm standing up talking to a crowd of people. Looks great on TV, on social media, and things like that. But I also use the opportunity to talk to people. I'm not talking to the people that are already purchased the books. I'm talking past those people because now I'm trying to get attention of new people. So if there's a crowd of people at my table and I'm talking and I'm on my boom mic and I'm talking about giving you a free commission, blase, blase, there are other people walking past us, by us, saying, what's going on down there? What's happening? Oh my goodness, there's a crowd of people. Let's go over there. Let's go check that out. And then they come over and they investigate. And when I start to see that happen, I'll say, hey, you have another opportunity to do this on Sunday because I'll be doing it all again Sunday. Or come meet me at the hype line because that's where I'll be at early in the morning. So you've got to find your thing. You got to find something that you can do that will promote you, that you can push online, and then craft that into a flyer. Flyer templates. We're using templates on, there's websites where you can get free templates. Download them and modify them in Photoshop and use them the way that you need to use them for whatever purpose you need to use them for, right? So that's the next big thing. So we talked about, inventory, getting your Square account, getting PayPal account. You definitely got to have those. You got to really take credit card payments. Coming up with an event, coming up with something that you can do. You've got to focus on your talents, on like what makes you stand out, so and make you shine. But if you can't think of something like vocal or loud to make an impact, apply for a panel. Wizard World has a really easy application process. Just go ahead, submit your panel, ask other people to be on that panel with you, or go to the site, check out who's going, see the schedule, and say, hey, are you doing a panel? I would really love to be a part of that panel. Can I be a part of that panel? How can I be a part of that panel? Go to smaller shows. Go to smaller shows and work on your panel idea. Work out the kinks at a smaller show and figure yourself out, and then bring it to a bigger show. Then when you take it back to the smaller show, it's super clean and pristine. You got to play. You're going to play around and experiment with things until you get things the way that you want. It's a lot of trial and error. So that's the big thing. That's today's episode. I want to keep them under 10 minutes. Be sure to use my code Watson20 if you're going to Wizard World Boise. As a matter of fact, it works for the Wizard World shows for the rest of the year. Save you 20% off of your ticket purchases. Also, if you're using that code, prove it to me at the show, and I'm going to give you more discounts and free stuff at my table. Once I have all that information, we're going to have a good time. So, see you out there. It's been a pleasure. I'm Mike Watson with Freestyle Komics and Short Fuse Media, the Super Mad Brother, Dear Creative, signing out. Talk to you guys later on the next episode.
I think it's time for me to save the day. Grease. Y'all know what it is. A hot shot. let me heat it up. My girl think that I'm creeping, cause sometimes I leave her stuck. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm just trying to save the world. But she always think I'm lying and be trying to lay with girls. Take a walk in your shoes, I would rather fly. I fight for justice and vigilance, you would rather die. Now I'm trying to shed a little light to the darkness. He trying to bring me down like a woman when she heartless. Hey, Mr. Watson, I got a couple